Good evening, Los Angeles. Manifold here. I hope everyone's having a phenomenal day today. Customization and choice in any video game helps to have the game go on for longer and just provides, just extensive replayability in a game, especially a game with multiple playthroughs or mission-based games, extraction-based games such as Helldivers 2. We have a lot of customization options in Helldivers 2, but I feel like we can definitely get a lot more. Nothing too crazy, but that would give the game just further loadout diversity and player profile diversity. Now, these are some small things that I would love to see added into Helldivers 2 at this point. Now, this is going to be more of a fun video, discussing some ideas that I have had and that I've seen from my community, that we want in the game. This is not going to address, the realism factor or the performance issues in the game. Both of those, of course, should be addressed at some point, and I'll be talking about them in a later video. But this is just going to be more to discuss fun things that I would love to see added into the game. So consider subscribing. We are trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and let's get right into it. One of the small changes I would love to see added is a deeper achievement system. Now, not achievements as in like the old Xbox achievements, but getting rewards for something like killing 1,000 automaton, killing 10,000 automaton, killing even like 100,000 automaton, like incremental achievement-based rewards that would give us, like maybe a banner, maybe a title, maybe a camo for doing these achievements. Killing a certain enemy type, especially for if you only grind a certain enemy type. I feel like it'd be so rewarding to be able to get, like I said, a banner, a title, a camo for doing something as monumental as that, like killing 1,000 automaton or 10,000 automaton, maybe even not 10,000, but maybe like 2,000 or 5,000. Just having having the opportunity to grind for that, I think would be fantastic for the game. The next thing that I thought of was maybe having a black market. Now, a black market as in something that would provide discounted items in the superstore. Maybe even some discounted war bonds, maybe like 10, 25% off for the older war bonds, the ones that have been out for a long time, like Democratic Detonation, or I think Freedom Flare, I think is what it's called, Freedom Flame, has been out for a while. Like, maybe offer those at a discounted price for like a week or something, or maybe offer like a weapon or the things that are in the superstore, maybe offer them at a discounted price. I don't know. I was just spitballing there. Next thing, of course, that I would love to see is deeper ship customization. Hanging banners in the ship, different colors maybe on the inside of the ship, maybe being able to change your ship to a different color. I feel like having some sort of minor customization like that would be amazing in the game. And of course, being able to unlock more camos and banners the more you play or the more enemies you take out, I think would be fantastic. Next thing, I've talked about this a lot, secondary weapon customization. I thought that secondary weapon customization would have been added into the game by now, since we got primary weapon customization. Now, I'm not saying, that I know how to code a game. I don't know how to code a game, but I would have thought it would have been added by now. So yeah, secondary weapon customization. Let us add deeper mags to our weapons, some sights, some camos for our secondary weapons to add some increased drip to our loadouts. I think would be fantastic, and I would love to see it added at some point. Adding on to weapon customization, deeper primary weapon customization. Have extended mags option for all primary weapons. Have grips for all primary weapons. There are some primary weapons where the customization is just lacking. You can't add like a deeper heat sink on some of the energy weapons. There's no extended magazines on some of the weapons. You can just add like a sight, which I think is boring and doesn't help to have gun diversity in the game, in my opinion. Now, we could talk all about balancing and whatnot and, the meta, but that's for a different video. I would love to see deeper primary weapon customization as well as secondary, and I'm sure Arrowhead is hard at work at that. The next thing that I think a lot of people would love to see is something else to do with requisition slips. I am constantly stuck at 50,000 requisition slips, and being able to do something with them I think would be awesome. The one thing that one of my chat members thought of was being able to convert them into samples. Even if it's something as simple as 50,000 requisition slips can turn into 10 super samples. just something else to do with them so that they're not just sitting there at max capacity, I think would be amazing to have in the game. Next thing, more vehicles. I want to see more vehicles, man. I want to be able to have like maybe a motorcycle or like an ATV or something cool like that. Aside from the rover that we have, I think would be fun. Like I said, none of these are things that should be added into the game or prioritized. I think it'd be fun just to have it in the game. Different ammo types, I think, for other weapons would be fantastic and would maybe even help with like build diversity and weapon utilization. With the Coyote having the fire rounds, maybe have acid rounds on another weapon, maybe have electrical rounds on another weapon. I know there is that one weapon, I think, that fires stun rounds, then I can't remember the name of it, but have maybe like some different ammo types, maybe for different weapons that would offer benefits, like melting armor, you know, maybe have like a corrosive ammo type that melts heavy armor and makes enemies more susceptible to medium and armor pen. I think that'd be fantastic. Just something, you know, spit firing off of it. Better boosters. Give us some better boosters or buff the boosters that nobody is using right now. I think having booster diversity would also go a long way because, of course, we use the same 4 boosters in like every game, especially if you're playing with a squad. And I don't think that that's good, you know, especially with capping, you know, your customization in that regard. There definitely needs to be more attention to reworking the boosters, or at least bringing some of the other boosters up into the meta, quote unquote. Something that I've talked about as well is armor passives on helmets and maybe gloves or boots. Like I said, being able to customize your character more in depth, I feel like would add to the uniqueness of the game. Now, I don't know if that's what they're going for in terms of the game. I know they preach a lot about realism, you know, in this game and whatnot, but I feel like having maybe even like some sort of night vision helmet, or, you know, gloves that help you reload faster, or boots that help you to not get stuck in terrain as much, I think would go a long way and I think would be fantastic for the game. I've talked about this in another video as well. I'll link that video. I talked about some of the other things I would love to see, but that is one of them. I would love to see deeper passive customization on our armor. The last thing I thought of was saving classes and loadouts. Now, the weapons and the stratagems you bring into different factions can vary greatly. You know, you're not really bringing a lot of heavy pen against the Illuminate. Now, some of you maybe, I know I don't, because we're dealing with the voteless and the flesh mobs, who thankfully are able to be dealt with light and medium pen for the most part. But, you know, the automaton are more heavy armor, and the Terminates can be medium and heavy, but being able to save like your classes and loadouts, I think would go a long way, and I think would be pretty cool for the game, and would just help us to get into the missions faster. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. Let me know if there are anything you guys agree with, disagree with. I love having a conversation about this game. Now, I do have videos talking about the performance issues in the game, so that's why I didn't really talk about it in this video, because I don't want to keep beating the dead horse. You know, the horse is already dead. I don't need to keep beating it. And I'm sure Arrowhead is already aware of it. Well, they are aware of it and probably working tirelessly to fix it. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today. I really appreciate your guys' time. Hope you guys stay hydrated. Hope you guys stay healthy. Hope you guys have a phenomenal rest of your day. Take care, everybody.